Just when you thought the trade war couldn't go any deeper, Trump is about to strike at one of China's most under-the-radar power moves. Global shipping dominance. A new executive order is expected this week, and it's not just about tariffs anymore. It's about seas, ships, and supply chains. Trump wants to rebuild the American shipbuilding industry, penalize Chinese-controlled fleets, and force U.S. allies to do the same, or face consequences. This isn't just trade policy. This is full-spectrum economic warfare. Let's break it down. Chapter 1. China's Hidden Power, the Global Shipping Grid. China controls more than 17% of the world's shipping capacity and builds over 40% of the world's commercial ships. But it's not just about volume. It's about control over the flow of goods through state-subsidized shipyards, national shipping giants like Costco, port investments from Africa to Europe. China has quietly positioned itself as the logistical backbone of the global economy. And now, Trump is ready to rip that spine out. What makes China's control even more dangerous is how embedded it has become in global infrastructure. Chinese companies now operate over 90 foreign ports in 50 countries, often under long-term leases. That means even if the ships aren't Chinese-flagged, the docks they pull into often are. This gives Beijing a strategic advantage, not only in trade, but in diplomacy and military readiness. Chapter 2. The Executive Order. According to sources, Trump's upcoming executive order will impose extra port fees on any vessel that is flagged by China or part of a fleet that includes Chinese-built ships. Direct funding to revive U.S. shipbuilding capacity. Pressure allies to adopt similar port rules or risk retaliatory tariffs. This would financially penalize foreign companies that rely on cheap Chinese ships, while creating incentives to shift to U.S.-aligned fleets. In essence, if you ship with China, you pay the price. And the mechanism is already being developed, a U.S. Maritime Risk Index, which will rate foreign fleets based on their Chinese exposure. Those with too many Chinese-built or Chinese-controlled vessels will face increasing port fees, delays, and inspections. Chapter 3. Why this matters. Why is shipping such a big deal? Because whoever controls shipping controls global commerce. 90% of all goods traded move via ships. Military logistics rely on maritime infrastructure. Energy security depends on tanker routes. Lawmakers and defense experts warn that China's dominance in this space could be a national security threat. Imagine a future conflict, and your enemy controls the ships, the ports, and the logistics chains. Trump's move is about making sure that never happens. Chapter 4. The Strategic Rationale. This isn't a random move. It's a continuation of Trump's doctrine. Decouple from China. Rebuild America. Punish global freeloaders. By hitting shipping, Trump is forcing companies to rethink logistics, creating a new industrial base for shipbuilding, pressuring allies to pick a side in the new Cold War. It's part economic policy, part geopolitical chess. Insiders also point to a quiet lobbying push by American maritime unions and legacy shipbuilders, who see this as a once-in-a-generation chance to reclaim a lost industry. Chapter 5. Impact on U.S. ports and industry. Ports across the U.S., from L.A. to Savannah, will have to enforce this policy. It means new inspections, tariff enforcement teams, possible slowdowns at terminals, but it also means new money for American shipbuilders, maritime unions, and infrastructure developers. For states like Louisiana, Virginia, and Maine, this could be a manufacturing revival. One early draft of the executive order reportedly includes provisions for federal shipbuilding grants, buy American shipping requirements for federal contracts, a new fund to retrain port workers for inspection and enforcement roles. This isn't just trade enforcement. It's a jobs bill in disguise. Chapter 6. Allies on Notice. The order won't just target Chinese fleets. It will warn U.S. allies. Adopt similar port rules or face American penalties. This is a shot across the bow for Europe, Japan, and even Canada, all of whom do business with Chinese shipping giants. Trump wants a new maritime alliance, one that puts China on the outside. Will allies comply? Or resist? We'll find out. Sources in Brussels and Tokyo say quiet talks are already happening. Some countries may seek carve-outs, but others, like the UK and Australia, are expected to join the U.S. framework outright. Chapter 7. China's Response. Expect Beijing to explode. China's shipping industry is a key pillar of its global Belt and Road strategy. Attacking it is like targeting the engine room of the empire. Likely responses: retaliatory fees at Chinese ports, sanctions on U.S. maritime firms, legal escalation at the WTO. But China has a problem. It still needs access to U.S. markets. And Trump knows it. Already, Chinese state media is framing the order as economic nationalism disguised as security, accusing the U.S. of stoking global instability. But the real fear? That other countries might follow Trump's lead. Chapter 8. Final Thoughts. With this new executive order, Trump is expanding the battlefield. From factories to freighters. From tariffs to tankers. From trade deals to global supply control. China's shipping dominance has gone unchallenged for decades. That ends now. This is about more than economics. This is about sovereignty, leverage, and future wars fought without a single shot. America built the seas once. Trump wants to do it again. Subscribe for real-time geopolitical updates and insider breakdowns of the trade war chessboard.